Howdy, y'all. Welcome to the Beverly Hillbillies Facts and Trivia. Y'all kick off your shoes and you said a spell, all right? Now here's your host for the show, the old Kentucky boy himself, Mr. Bob Snap.
Hi guys, welcome to the Beverly Hillbillies Facts and Trivia. Appreciate you being here. Today's video is on guest stars and wannabe guest stars for the Beverly Hillbillies. There was a lot of people that wanted to be on the show. A lot of people that loved the show. And let me tell you, they took the top, they took the cream of the crop, but there was a lot of them A-listers in there. So let's take a look. The 9-year primetime years that the Beverly Hillbillies resided in the hills of Beverly where movie stars and socialites shine. Jed and Granny and the gang played host to many of the biggest celebrities in town. The show was such a hit that many of the area's most talented performers were happy as an itchy pig rubbing himself against a rail fence to land a spot on it. We not only had guest stars on the show occasionally, but we had all the big ones stopping by the set just to watch the filming or just say hi, said Phil Gordon, who played Jasper Jazz Bodie Pugh early in the series. Our set wasn't completely closed, so people like Lucille Ball, Phyllis Diller, people from the Addams Family cast, Ricky Nelson, Minnie Pearl, and a bunch of country western stars loved to drop by. Some actors like Raymond Massey were so anxious for a guest shot or even a cameo appearance, they kept sending kind notes to Paul Henning with more than subtle hints that they'd love to work for him. When the show hit hard, Spike Jones enthusiastically offered his talents as musical director. Back then, it was like today's version of supplying a guest voice on The Simpsons. An episode of the Hillbillies was the thing to do. There were some like Glenn Campbell, who Paul Henning pursued. Henning had another writer prepared a full script on spec, hoping that the young country singer might appear on the show. Campbell's manager, Nick Savano, never delivered Paul Henning's persistent solicitations because he thought the show was beneath his client. So the script was quickly rewritten, and Pat Boone was substituted. Another script idea had the Hillbillies sing an old Shirley Temple film, Captain January, in which Buddy Ebsen danced with her. Of course, the Hillbillies, charmed by her cuteness, would still think of her as a 6-year-old moppet. The former actress was approached about her appearing on the show, but declined, and the idea was dropped. Sharon Tate, who's more famous for savage murder by the Charles Manson gang in the late 60s than for her acting, appeared in many episodes as Janet Trago, one of the secretarial pool at the Commerce Bank. Most of the time, she donned a black wig for the role. When we first got her, she couldn't even walk through the door convincingly, said Joe DePew. She was very amateurish. It was hard for her to read a line, and she went to acting school. She learned a lot. She was a very pleasant girl and extremely beautiful. A real tragedy. And there you go. The Glenn Campbell thing, I always heard that he was the one that they wanted, and then they settled for Pat Boone, and I was always like, Pat Boone just doesn't fit the country boy, country music type guy. I mean, no, didn't work for me. Glenn Campbell would have worked. Plus, Glenn was an actor. It's just a shame. That would have really been cool. The Shirley Temple thing probably would have too, but it is what it is. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Please don't forget about classic TV facts and trivia, classic rock and country music facts and trivia. Please subscribe while you're there. Have a great day. God bless you. Be praying for you.